Namaskara to this beautiful morning. Today, the 8th of March 2021, like in the recent years, Manipal Academy of Higher Education is celebrating the International Women's Day. It is a day to reflect on the progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their communities and countries. As we take pride in invoking the memory of Mrs. Sharda Pai, who played a significant role in building Manipal, where we stand today, we also salute the grit and determination of women like our chief guest, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar. Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar is decorated by the Indian Armed Forces with the Ati Vishisht Seva Medal and the Vishish Seva Medal in recognition of distinguished service of an exceptional order and high order, respectively. Today, we also have amongst us women who believe that they are very ordinary, but with their unmatched, dedicated service, make our daily lives exceptional. Mrs. Rosie Barreto and Mrs. Baby Salian are two such remarkable individuals. This program will last for about 90 minutes. While we request you to continue to wear your masks, we will try to keep you actively engaged. At MAHE, this day is an occasion to celebrate and reinforce achievements of women. And I, Shubha, Associate Professor at Manipal Institute of Communication, and am humbled and honored to take you through this program. It is believed that a prayer can influence both the physical and non-physical worlds. Today, we have Ms. Sindhu Kamath, a student at Waksha, to render a melodious prayer. It's a song written by Gulzar, originally sung by Vani Jairam. I request everyone to kindly remain seated.
हमको मन की शक्ति दे
give us the strength to overcome the wrong thoughts in our mind. That's what she sang. Thank you, Sindhu. That was indeed appropriate and powerful. I now request Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe, and Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice-Chancellor Mahe, to escort the dignitaries to offer floral tribute to the founders of Manipal, Srimati Sharda Pai and Dr. T.M.A. Pai, and occupy the distinguished chairs on the dais. I invite Madam Mrs. Vasanti Pai, Trustee of Manipal Trust, Mrs. Indira S. Ballal, Philanthropist, and Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, Educationist, to please do the honors. The chief guest of today's program, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, has joined us virtually from Pune. Ma'am, we sincerely wish you will soon come down to Manipal and we get a chance to meet you. Sirs. A little trivia about this day. The theme this year of International Women's Day 2021 is #ChooseToChallenge. It is said that a challenged world is an alert world, and from challenges comes change. So the theme urges us to challenge. Now I call upon Dr. Smita Naik, Associate Professor, Manipal Institute of Management, to formally welcome each one of you.
In the history of humanity, there emerge some epoch-making individuals who create history, while majority keep watching the history they create. Such individuals set the trend of times to guide the course the humanity should take. We are in such times and amid such individuals who are not only epoch-makers, but also trendsetters. Human society has seen both patriarchy and matriarchy at different times and places, though patriarchy has been the dominant system that defined our gender relations. Having had the experience of both these systems, human society has reached a stage wherein it is increasingly appreciating the value of dignity, human potential, and human equality, regardless of the gender differences. Some individuals, especially among women, have shown in the world at large that women can be flag bearers in all fields of life. Women have proven their mettle, not only across fields in public life, but also what we consider the male bastions, such as the armed forces. I'm glad to present before you one such woman who has conquered the seemingly arduous task of being in the armed forces, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar. She is the proud winner of the Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, which is given upon her by the President of our country for her meritorious services to the nation. I'm extremely glad to welcome her on behalf of Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Technology has bridged the gap and enabled your presence virtually, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar. Welcome you again, ma'am. We have amongst us virtually Mrs. Shamla Kunda, member of the National Commission for Women, who has time again proved that women can conquer any boundary if they make up their mind. I extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am. Just as there are metamorphical father figures, there are also silent yet powerful women whom we characterize as a metaphorical mother figures who guide and inspire from behind. I welcome the guiding force and the source of inspiration to all of us, Srimati Vasanti Pai, to this function. I request Dr. Christopher Sudhakar to present a bouquet to Madam, please. Women give their helping hands in immense ways to their family members so that they become success in public life. Two such women are amidst us today, Mrs. Indira Ballal and Mrs. Kusma Venkatesh. I welcome you, ma'ams, to this inaugural function. I request Dr. Rohit Singh to present a bouquet to ma'ams. Today's function is blessed by Dr. H.S. Ballal, the Pro-Chancellor of MAHE, by his majestic presence. I am happy to extend a warm welcome to him. I request Dr. Lydia to do the floral welcome. Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, a visionary and the Vice-Chancellor of the university, is kind enough to be with us today. He has guided us to the smooth conduct of this program. I extend a warm welcome to him. I request Ms. Hilda to present a bouquet to Sir, please. We also have amongst us our dynamic pillar, Dr. P.L.N.G. Rao, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Quality Assurance and Faculty of Health Science. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I request Dr. Raghavendra Prabhu to welcome him with a bouquet. Dr. Sabahit, the Registrar of MAHE, is with us. He has been helping us with the administrative details to make this function a grand success. I'm glad to welcome you to this function, sir. I request Dr. Raghavendra Prabhu to welcome him with the bouquet. I wholeheartedly welcome our women achievers, Ms. Rosie Barreto and Srimati Baby Salian, to this Women's Day function. The university officials, heads of institutions of MAHE, faculty members and supporting staff of MAHE are kind enough to gather over here for this function. I extend each one of you a warm welcome. Let us look forward to enlightening words of the dignitaries of the day. Again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smita. Now it's time for Mrs. Hilda Cornelio, Management Executive, to introduce the chief guest, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, to this gathering.
With your entire focus on your goal, you will reach levels of achievement that you never thought possible. Dignitaries on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and happy Women's Day to you all. I have great pleasure in introducing Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, AVSM, VSM. After her schooling and college at her native place, she joined the Armed Forces Medical College, Pune University. A brilliant student, she had the rare distinction of being first in all the 3 phases of MBBS degree. Coupled with her achievements in the sports and cultural arena, she was awarded the prestigious President's Gold Medal and Kalinga Trophy for the best outgoing student, a rare feat indeed. With a post-graduation in pediatrics from Mumbai University, she was trained in pediatric nephrology from the prestigious All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. She was awarded the fellowship by NUH, Singapore, GOS, London, and FAMER. Thus, her academic achievements are really mind-blowing. With bladder disorders of the children as specialization, she was instrument in setting up the pediatric nephrology unit at the Army Medical Corps, Pune, and was at the helm as the president of the Indian Society of Pediatric Nephrology. Having decided to serve the nation, she was commissioned in Army Medical Corps during 1982. She rose to become the Dean and Deputy Commandant of her alma mater, an achievement which anybody can certainly feel proud of. With her brilliant academic career, she would have comfortably settled down for a luxurious life. But courage, valor, and commitment to motherland looming large, she has put herself in the forefront of the Indian Army since the past 3 decades. She has joined the Army at a time when a woman were dreaded to go to military services. The sacrifice is worthy of emulation by the younger generation. She has held various key posts in the Army in different parts of the country. For her meritorious and distinguished services, she has been decorated with medals and awards, the most significant of which are Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Commendation by the Chief of Army Staff, and many more. Her achievements of 3 decades in the Army will certainly inspire the younger generation to serve the nation by joining the Army. The Honorable Prime Minister of India has nominated her to the PM Science and Technology Innovation Advisory Committee. She was on the Board of Governors of Medical Council of India. Lieutenant General Kanitkar has innumerable publications in national and international journals. She is an avid golfer with her qualities of head and heart. She finds time to visit Indian historical places. Since February 2020, she is the Deputy Chief of Integrated Defence Staff Medical. Her husband, Lieutenant General R.V. Kanitkar, Parama Vishishta Seva Medal, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishishta Seva Medal, is a retired Lieutenant General of the Army. The illustrious patriotic Army couple are blessed with their son Nikhil, who is an entrepreneur, and daughter Vibhuti, who is working in Microsoft at Seattle in USA. Madam Ji, we are privileged and honored to have you as our chief guest during the International Women's Day in this international town of Manipal. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very big round of applause to the best outgoing student, a doctor from the rare stream of medical nephrology, courageous and patriotic Lieutenant General and AVSM BSM from the male-dominated army, and above all, a personality with rare qualities of head and heart, Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilda. In Ayn Rand's hugely popular book, The Fountainhead, she says, throughout the centuries, there were men who took first steps down new roads, armed with nothing but their own vision. Our chief guest today, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, is one such doctor who walked a new road in the armed forces, armed with her own vision. Ma'am, we are eager to listen to your address.
The gracious Mrs. Vasanthi Pai, our strong women, Mrs. Indra Ballard and Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, my friend, philosopher, guide, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Venkatesh, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Ballard, dignitaries of MAHE, the women achievers, students, faculty members, and dear friends. I will just start sharing my video. At the outset, I must thank MAHE and all you people for inviting me to this function and giving me an opportunity to reach out to you, albeit virtually. But I'm sure times will change and we'll have opportunity to meet together again. I start by quoting Robert Frost. Robert Frost says, freedom lies in being bold. So should we just remain in a small pond or jump to the bigger ponds? The question remains, should I keep quiet when I do not agree with something, or should I scream from the rooftop and make a difference? Today's Women's Day is dedicated to all of you wonderful women who choose to challenge, but I'll add a little subscript, choose to challenge wisely and with a responsibility. I dedicate this talk and address to you to my grandmother. All of 4 feet 2 inches, Dr. Sarla Devi Khoth was orphaned at 2, married at 9, widowed at 10, but a doctor at 29. And my sister, Dr. Nilima Kadambi, in this frame, who wrote the book, My Aji and I, Her Life Story. This woman reached to where she did, and we reached where we are because there was one woman who chose to challenge my grandmother's mother, who, realizing the potential in this little intelligent girl left to the vagaries of society, she sent her with her uncle to the Maharshi Stree Karve Shikshan Sanstha, where at Hingne in Pune, where in the early 1900s, the Dhonduji Karve had started educating orphaned women and especially the child widowed. And she went on challenging all existing roles to become a doctor. So this tribute is to her and an example to all of us women. I would like to share my journey from 1978 of being a young student to March 2020, where probably I had to stand up on a large number of occasions and reach where I am. I think my first challenge was joining AFMC. Coming from a background with no people in the armed forces, well, it was not easy. Convincing parents, throwing a little but tantrums, and because I was convinced. So I never knew this is where I would reach one day. But at that time, I knew that I loved this, the environment that it offered, the ability to nurture all-round development, and I could see a sense of discipline and a love for the uniform when I visited this college as a young college student in 12th standard. But having got there, college had everything to offer and I was having too much fun. My first lesson was when I failed in my first part exam and realized that I'm in a catch-22 situation which happens to all young students. On one hand, there are personal aspirations, parental expectations, college requirements, but on the other hand, there's a lot of peer pressure to have fun. You have a difficult chosen path whenever you take up career-oriented goals. There are distractions as would happen in any young teenager's minds. And of course, who isn't scared of failure? So you learn early to do the balance. And I think women continue to do that throughout their life. But the mantra was work harder, ensure all-round development, but don't lose focus, don't lose what you want to. And if things come in your way, once you've made up your mind, I think what we all need to do is choose to challenge. So making the most, learning to take challenges headlong, whether it was sports or in all other extracurricular, and studying harder. The finally D-Day came when I walked out, and among all those trophies, I was extremely lucky to have the biggest trophy on my side, my husband, who is seen in this photograph. And he was the one who stood behind me. And I think society will be empowered when men and women stand side to side and work as one team. After all, 50% of society is women. But why should we have lower roles? We are equal, and you need empowered men like him, like all the men who are around us, who celebrate this womanhood, ensuring. So this is not a day for already empowered women like us. It is to tell society that this what comes out of an empowered society where the men stand shoulder to shoulder with women. And when thereafter the journey was definitely not easy, I won't go into details, but I'll quote Nadia Comaneci, another woman with grit, who said, I don't run away from a challenge because I'm afraid. Instead, I run towards it. Because the only way to escape fear is to trample it beneath your feet. And since I had beaten all odds to wear this uniform, whenever difficulty came, my husband and me would tell ourselves to quit or not to quit is not an option. You have to move ahead and take challenges headlong. And I remember the difficult times when the first time a woman went to the field and I was told you can't live there with all the men in Bashas. You please stay at the headquarters in the main city. And I refused. Again, I chose to challenge. At that time, I didn't know that I would earn so much respect and so much experience doing exactly. It was more a gut feeling. Doing a post-graduation with a small child, beating the system and the organization where firstly pediatrics and then pediatric nephrology, which was till then not an accepted or an acceptable society specialty to the armed forces. But I always chose to choose a path less trodden and go where my passion and my heart went. It was difficult when the family of 4 was split into 3 and my children would say, do we have to be sick to get time? So the woman always has to do these balancing acts. But with every challenge, if you turn it into an opportunity to strengthen yourself, you come out stronger and you reach a day where fear is no more a challenge for you. You conquer it, and that's when you start moving ahead with full force. And there were so many such instances, especially when I had to care for my ailing parents, and General Venkatesh and Kusma were by my side, helping me even in those difficult moments. I think even difficult times were Because finally, when you wear this uniform, our organization is not dominated by men, but it's predominantly male oriented. And you do have difficult seniors who may not exactly believe, but to convince them to take your vision forward was not an easy path. But at that time, I quote the Japanese art where a pottery, when broken, looks even more beautiful. Kinsokuroi, it's called, when you put a gold glue to patch those pieces together. So my life's mantra soon became damaged but not destroyed. You use every opportunity to rise up higher. And in that, I think we women are lucky because we have a capability of multitasking. And I see all our goddesses, if you see, have more hands than any male god. Why is it so? Because this is our inherent quality and we have one X chromosome. So women today, let's celebrate that. While life is all about balance. It's not just for the women, the men have it difficult too. So let's find solutions together. And we in India are very lucky. Let's acknowledge all the support we get when we move ahead. A woman can move ahead in an empowered society, a liberated society where family is a big support. Our own roots are in our culture. Let's not forget those and let us celebrate that today so that we continue to teach society that this is the way forward. If 50% of society is taken alongside, the country will soon reach great heights. And the extended family was even more important. And I think this was the older version. I'm sorry, but I'd even managed a picture of General Venkatesh and Kusma. This is what the armed forces teaches you, that your friends are your extended family. As you move from place to place, there are opportunities for which your near and dear ones are your colleagues. So let us acknowledge all our friends who are there with us when we come together to celebrate this day today. And I think the biggest support, as I said, was my husband, who taught me the value of sharing and caring. To all the younger generation, all the men and women sitting in this audience today, I have this mantra which we decided, which my husband told me, that let us grow together without growing apart. Yes, if just one wheel goes ahead, I don't think the cart would move ahead so smoothly and so well and with such happiness when both sides of both wheels move in tandem. So all your difficulties, we shoulder together. We learn to adjust, adapt, and then adopt. Especially to the younger generation, my message is don't give up. Relationships and these are to be cherished, to be valued, and both have to make equal contribution to adjust and adopt and be together. And I would like to just take you through 5 women. I chose women today because I found that women support women, women teach women, women encourage women, and they need the support of the men. So these are 5 young women in various roles in my life who really tell us these strengths that we women have. Garima was a young baby born 650 grams way back in a small military hospital where there was not even a neonatal intensive care unit, and I was posted there and we created one in the corridors. 3 months, Garima and me worked together. And even a nursing officer says that, you know, if the premature baby is a girl, she says, oh, she'll live it because we are born tough. So let us remember, we are born tough, we are born to fight and win. Garima and me parted after that. We lost contact till social media helped us connect, and she came and visited me here in Delhi. And this very girl, a young girl born to a Jawan, she told me, I was moved when she said, my father brought me up saying that you were saved, you have lived for a purpose, go do something. And she's now studying for her IAS exams. And there would be many, many girls like Garima. So we are born to fight and win. Let us do it and choose with challenge. Ananya, another naval person's daughter, was not only tough herself as she battled through kidney failure at 1 year of age, went through dialysis, complications, transplant, rejection, but there were 2 tough women who beat all the odds. That's Ananya and her mother. And today she's a girl of all of 18 years, pursuing design in Pune. So she teaches us that we women can beat all odds. Varsha, she's a young girl, was a student who was into every possible trouble at college till we found ways and means to channelize her energies. And she said she had big dreams. She was not being able to. So given an environment, she went on to do some wonderful innovations and represent India in the Holt Castle. So Varsha tells us, dream big. That's for every woman to dream big. My friend Karuna, a young colleague of and who's worked with me, had a passion for medical education. So I called her MAP, because MAP is when you find you have a mentor, you have a correct attitude of never say die, and a passion for what you want to follow. And Karuna taught me that, because as a head professor and head, I thought I'd been sort of, when she said, ma'am, you love education, you must do a FAMER fellowship. So she became my mentor. So mentors are not only someone up there whom you can't. Mentors could be anyone who work with you. And Karuna got me through it. And when later I went as a dean, we fulfilled our dream of a regional center for the Medical Council of India in medical education at AFMC, and a whole other bunch which worked with me to set up a multidisciplinary research unit with 3D printing and what have you, which went on to get so many laurels thereafter. And last but not the least, who taught me the value of changing challenges into opportunities is my domestic help, Sunita. I give a tribute to her. Last 25 years, she's been with me, a woman cast out by her husband because she was childless, brought in a second woman, given an opportunity. She sat with me, learned to read and write, cycle. She's today bought her own house and is an independent woman, looked after that very husband to his death day and cared for the two children born by his second wife and married them, and a very empowered and happy woman. So cheers to Sunita, who taught me and tells all of us women that we will have challenges. Let's change them to opportunities and march on ahead. So with that, when one became a dean, I realized that, reminded myself of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, be the change you want to see in the world. I was dean of an established college. There had been phenomenal people before me who had left me such a heritage to an important chair. Was I going to just sit and enjoy, or was I going to speak up and bring in changes? Because change is always hard work. But it also teaches you, when I quote Winston Churchill, who says courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. But courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. Because as you grow higher, you have to take a team along, and there was not just now a team, there were the faculty, the postgraduates, the students, and a lesson learned of teamwork, taking on new challenges of training, teaching, patient care, research, and put in for the so this, I'm sorry, this was not dean, but this was as a professor and head, where put down and on a board and put it down in writing. You have to have the courage to put down, because everyone then follows. We put out a vision plan for up to 2010 and 20, taking all aspects, had our own logo developed, and with that we saw dreams together. And we developed, starting with a small, where I'd started in a corridor, now we had a better, and the lower picture which shows an excellent neonatal intensive care unit. And my colleagues and younger people got motivated with that vision, and recently the 8 neonatologists got together with over 2,000 babies. This is under publication, and developed neonatal jaundice and Indian nomograms. With that, one suddenly found oneself to be a dean of my alma mater, and it was now not just a dean, the canvas had got bigger. And I think this organization groomed me to take on bigger challenges and bigger roles, and how to make this ecosystem. So I started with sharing my dreams with students, so that we saw a path, we saw a vision together, because Abdul Kalam, the greatest teacher, said, you have to dream before your dreams can come true. And then everyone needs to go beyond your own expectations. You have to enjoy the process, what we choose. But most important, what I told them, and I tell you all, your teachers, your mentors are there. It is okay to make mistakes. But more important is, when you fall down, to get up and rise with equal energy to become great human beings. good, whatever specialty you choose or path you choose, and all the other things. And with that, the first thing one jumped in was, again chose to challenge, was the admission process. For years had been going on, over 1 month. We were struggling with major problems after the NEET exam. So doing a jigsaw puzzle technique and using all kind of management tools, we changed it to a 7-day drill. And today it continues to be in the same way, where we finish in 7 days and we finish admissions the day the results of this interview are over, because everything is now in a computerized system. And this year, the 30 girls, all 30 were from the first merit list, and 1,000 girls came for their interviews. So these were some of the ideas that we dreamt together, put in time. It's important to, again, put down things in writing. So as a head of a family, we could put this dream in practice, made year-wise plans, wrote it down, put up this, and the college continues to move in those. Also with my ideas of, we need to look back at our own culture, own Sanskriti and traditional wisdom. We've also started putting in a multidisciplinary, and Yoga Nidra is one such lab we've established. And the ecosystem did get created because an undergraduate could file his first patent. And we jumped headlong into the curriculum and even made standardized videos. And I enjoyed, I think it's the process. It was a passion. So there you can see me dressed like a Didi in the ward, or a ward Sahika, Aya of the ward, and teaching communication skills through our videos. And I think my message therefore is that while making the journey enjoyable, both sides of the brain are important, both genders are equally important, and both have to be connected by that corpus callosum, which takes us forward, where science and logic on one hand, religion, family, art and culture on the other is so important. Because even if we are a doctor, learning the science of medicine is one, but practicing the art of healing requires the right brain. And I think this is true in every field that we choose, and therefore it is not important just to give venue to the head, but as you rule with your head, we need to lead with the heart, and brought in these white coat ceremony and such things to get students to take the Hippocrates oath even before they go for their clinical. Celebrating all festivals together, getting into the mood, because it was a Gurukul system where you live together, or having cadets, again beaten the unbeaten path. Cadets would come home and we could interact informally. The marathon and the TED Talk were reaching out to other women who are having problems, like a creche to help other ladies. So these were some of the things one took headlong. And as Deputy Chief Integrated Defense Staff, one learned the wisdom came in place of this. So I said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And with that, one could help take things forward and come to a help with COVID care on wheels, or the Sardar Vallabhbhai 1,000-bedded hospital, where they chose a woman to lead it and establish it all in 3 weeks with the help of DRDO. So in conclusion, I would say that all men and women need to move out of comfort zone and speak up, learn time management. Most important, have a fit mind in a fit body. That's my message as a soldier. Dream big and think about and bring about a change. Set your own goals. Have confidence in yourself. Reflect, introspect, but be realistic. Be bold to stand up for a cause, and that cause should not end at I, me, and myself. The cause where you stand up and speak when you're empowered is for the country first, the organization next, and me last. So choose to challenge and challenge it with a wisdom. Thank you so much. And in the end, I would say every woman can take a vow today. I am my biggest challenge, but I do need a team. Let's replace that I with a we as we march ahead, shoulder to shoulder, men and women. Because after all, she has he, female has male, and woman has man. We are in this together. The path from illness to wellness is when I goes away and we comes in. Jai Hind, and thank you so much.
Absolutely fantastic, ma'am. I'm kind of speechless. We express our gratitude for your words of wisdom. You are truly an inspiration. Moving to the next part of the program, we now celebrate, through felicitation, two extraordinary women achievers. I call upon Mrs. Rosie Barreto to come and occupy the chair on the dais. Mrs. Rosie Barreto will be introduced through an audiovisual.
At the age of 20, Rosie joined as a postmaster and has served at the same post for 39 years. Although she has retired now, she earned her promotions through the service she provided, never once asking for it or writing exams for the same. She has held many prestigious positions and titles, which include the Catholic Church Association President and being a member of Stree Sangatane. In her own inspiring words, never waste time in life and do things that are fruitful and worthwhile. God has given us all a life to work hard and achieve, so we got to prove it. We at Manipal Academy of Higher Education are honored to felicitate Mrs. Rosie Barreto on this International Women's Day 2021.
I request Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai and Mrs. Kusma Venkatesh to felicitate Mrs. Rosie Barreto. Now I call upon Srimati Baby Salyan to please occupy the seat on the dais. Mrs. Baby Salyan will be introduced through an audiovisual.
Baby Salyan is a woman with an inspiring story behind her, which made her who she is. Having been deprived of an education beyond class 3, she was inspired by the women of her family, namely her mother and grandmother, who were fisherwomen supporting their family through their trade. She is now the backbone and inspiration for around 2,500 other women who are a part of the trade. In the year 2010, the existence of Mahila Meenugarara Maratagarara Sangha came into being due to persistent efforts from her. We at Manipal Academy of Higher Education are truly motivated by your story and are honored to felicitate Mrs. Baby Salyan on this International Women's Day 2021.
I now invite Mrs. Indira Ballal and Dr. H.S. Ballal to felicitate Mrs. Baby Salyan. Hardika Shubhashayagalu, baby avare. Last year, for the International Women's Day celebration, we had with us Mrs. Shamla Kundar, member of the National Commission for Women, New Delhi. This year, she sent us a message on this occasion. Please wait for the video message. I believe she has joined us virtually for this program.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದ ಸದಸ್ಯೆಯಾದಂತಹ ನಾನು ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಾ ಎಸ್ ಕುಂದರ್ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸುವರ್ಣ ಅವಕಾಶವನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ಪಾಲಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎದುರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಈ ಕೊರೋನಾ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಮಾರಕ ರೋಗದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಾವು ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಯಶಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ವಂದನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿಯವರ ಕರೆಯಂತೆ ಆತ್ಮನಿರ್ಭರ ಭಾರತದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿ ಈ ಸಮಾಜ ಮತ್ತು ದೇಶದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸಾಗೋಣ. ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಗಂಡು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಭೇದವು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾಣ್ಯದ ಎರಡು ಮುಖದಂತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ನಾಣ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಮುಖ ಅಗತ್ಯವಿದೆಯಾ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮತ್ತು ಗಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಅರಿತು ಈ ದೇಶದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶದ ಪ್ರಧಾನಿಯವರ ಕರೆಯಂತೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗೂಡಿ ಸಾಗೋಣ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್. ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾತಾ ಕಿ ಜೈ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಾ ಕುಂದರ್ ಅವರೇ. Moving further, it is now time for prize distribution. Every year, a few competitions are conducted to mark this day. This year, essay writing and painting competitions were held on the 6th of March. I call upon Dr. Chandini Gupta and Dr. Lydia Andrade to give us more details and announce the winners. And I also request Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh to hand over the prizes later.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Like every year, this year also we have conducted competitions prior to the International Women's Day. We have conducted two events, the painting competition and short essay writing competition. These competitions were held on 6th March at Interact, and the topic given was same as the theme for International Women's Day, that is Choose to Challenge. For each competition, we have divided the participants into three categories age-wise. Group A was 7 to 12 years, Group B was 13 to 18 years, and Group C was 19 years and above. We had a huge response for each of the competition. There were around 80 participants in each competition. And we had two judges for each of the competition. The judges for the painting competition were Dr. Neeta Imamdar and Dr. Sharmila Torke. Based on our judging criteria, the judges have selected two winners in each category. And I request Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor Mahe Manipal, to kindly give away the prizes. For painting competition, in 7 to 12 years, the first place goes to Namasyu Ravi Kotian from Madhav Kripa School. Second place goes to Avishkar Prabhu, Little Rock Indian School. Madhav Kripa School. Second place goes to Gauri Pai, Madhav Kripa School. In 19 years and above, the first place goes to Wenzel Wilman Fernandez from MIT Manipal. Second place goes to Shushma MCHP Manipal. Congratulations to all the winners. I request Lydia S. Andrade to read away the prizes of short essay writing competition.
The judges for the short essay writing competition were Dr. Praveen Shetty and Dr. Avril Jacqueline Fernandez. Now, the winners of the category of short essay writing category 7 to 12 years. First place goes to Ms. Niranjana, Madhav Krapa School. Second place goes to Navyata Shrikant Rao, Madhav Krapa School. The winners of 13 to 18 years category, first place goes to Pranamya G. Kular, Madhav Krapa School. Second place goes to Akriti Chaudhary, MCOTS, Manipal, Mangalore. The winners of 19 and above years category, first place goes to Akshita Gupta, MCOTS, Mangalore. Second place goes to Nirupa J. Srinivas, Mahe Finance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chandni and Dr. Lydia. We have amongst us Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh. She is an educationist and has been subtly motivating us all through the planning of this program. Ma'am, may I request you to present the International Women's Day message?
Good morning and greetings, Dr. H.S. Balal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor, and everyone present here and who are with us. I take immense pleasure to wish Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, our chief guest today, Mrs. Vasanti Pai, First Lady of Mahe, Mrs. Indira Balal, and all women, a very happy International Women's Day. To understand and highlight the essence of International Women's Day, March 8th is United Nations sanctioned global holiday to unify tenacity, to commemorate women's achievements and contributions to the society, to raise awareness for gender parity, to inspire support for organizations that help women globally, and to give importance to women's health care. The year 2021's theme for International Women's Day, #ChooseToChallenge, highlights the importance of challenging biases and misconceptions. In addition, International Women's Day is also aligned with the priority theme on the status of women, #the flagship gender parity campaign to create a more inclusive and gender equal world. The UN has also issued a 2021 theme, Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a Post-COVID-19 World. International Women's Day is also aligned with the priority theme on the status of women. The flagship gender equality campaign calls for women's complete effective right to participate in decision making in all areas of public life, elimination of violence in any form, empowerment of every single woman, and healthcare services responding to their needs. Women as healthcare workers, caregivers, innovators, community organizers, and as some of the most exemplary and effective national leaders in combating the crisis, has highlighted both the centrality of their contributions and the disproportionate burdens that they carry. Women leaders and organizations have demonstrated their skills, knowledge, and networks to effectively lead in COVID-19 response and recovery efforts. Today, There is more acceptance than ever before that women bring different experiences, perspectives, and skills to the table and make irreplaceable contributions to decisions, policies, and laws that work better for all. Good news is, in majority of the countries, they have been more successful in stemming the tide of the COVID-19 crisis and responding to its health and broader socio-economic impacts are headed by women. For instance, heads of government in Denmark, Ethiopia, Finland, Germany, Iceland, New Zealand, and Slovakia have been widely recognized for the rapidity, decisiveness, and effectiveness of the national response to COVID-19, as well as the compassionate communication of fact-based public health information. But yet in only 20 countries worldwide, women are heads of the state and the government, and lots of work has to be done regarding the same. Also, in addition to the persistent pre-existing social and systemic barriers to women's participation and leadership, new barriers that have emerged with the pandemic across the world are: women are facing increased domestic violence, unpaid care duties, unemployment, and poverty. Despite women making up a majority of frontline workers, there is disproportionate and inadequate representation of women in national and global policy spaces. To uphold women's rights and fully leverage the potential of women's leadership in all walks of life, the perspectives of women in all of their diversities must be integrated in the formulation and implementation of policies and programs in all spheres and at all stages. Let us be together and be there to achieve it wholly. Gone are the days of saying every successful man has a woman standing behind. We lead from the front. As I conclude, I recognize, congratulate, and salute all the women achievers who have been felicitated today. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon Dr. Shamla Ji, Professor and Head, Department of OBG KMC, to introduce Mrs. Vasanti Pai.
Good morning to you all. It's my privilege to introduce Mrs. Vasanti R. Pai, who is presiding over today's Women's Day celebrations. Madam Vasanti Pai had her upbringing in Mumbai, where she graduated in psychology from Bombay University. She was chosen by the Planning Commission of India to take up a teaching assignment in the US Peace Corps. Her first posting was in Hawaii, where she taught Indian language to the Peace Corps volunteers. It was a program of orientation for the volunteers who were later sent to India to work in rural areas. Later on, she completed 2 more assignments in the USA. Mrs. Vasanti Pai came to Manipal, then a modest town, as a beautiful and shy bride, married to our Chancellor, Dr. Ramdas M. Pai. The constant association with the founder of Manipal, Dr. Time Pai, and Chancellor Ramdas M. Pai, who are great achievers, who built this town into such an enormous university town. This transformed Madam too into a strong and compassionate woman. Her psychology background probably helped Madam in all her endeavors, especially involving the students in the campus. Madam Vasanti Pai is very good at student-parent relations. She is very approachable, and we know that people often approach her for solutions to all kinds of problems. She is the chairperson of MAHE Student Affairs and Hostel Management Committees. When I was in one of these committees, I observed that Madam is very sharp in decision making. She is also a trustee of Manipal Academy of Higher Education Trust. Her other interests include Indian music, particularly soulful bhajans, and I am told that she is good at experimenting with different recipes. I welcome Madam Vasanti Pai on behalf of this Mahe family. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shamla. Ma'am, with utmost admiration, I request you for your presidential address.
Our honored chief guest, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar, all the distinguished guests on the dais, all the distinguished guests who have gathered here, ladies and gentlemen. We have had a very bad year, 2020. If somebody had told me or told us 2-3 years ago, this is going to happen in 2020, we wouldn't have believed it. But it happened. And a lot of people young people have lost their jobs. They have to take a pay cut home. And it was a very bad situation. And the worst thing was daily wage workers. I always feel that's where we failed. We could have done something for them, but we couldn't do it. And I will always regret about that. But there are some nice things happened also during that time. There was one young entrepreneur who wrote a very nice article. He said that he was so busy. By 8 o'clock, he used to be in the office, and the wife used to keep breakfast ready. 1 o'clock, the lunch dabba used to come. 8 o'clock, he used to go home, have hot dinner ready. So he really didn't know what his wife was doing whole day. When this happened, and she was pregnant, so he had to do everything because his in-laws were not able to come. His parents were not able to come. So he slowly started helping his wife to cook. And that was a big therapy for him. All the stress, he said, when I'm cooking with her, had gone. And then when she delivered, he didn't know what to do because most men find it very difficult to carry small babies unless they are doctors. So he was so scared, but then there was nobody he had to do. He had to give bath to baby, he had to feed the baby, he had to change his nappies. So he started developing a beautiful bond between baby and him. And he says, those moments I will cherish forever. See the beautiful bond between parents and children also during that time, because mostly fathers don't know what their children are doing in the school. They are so busy earning that mostly the mothers. So during this time, then since there were online classes, they had to fix, computer. They have to see whether the child is understanding whatever the teacher was teaching. So they were slowly taking started instead. Then in the evening, whole day, they have to play board games to keep them because they cannot go out, sing Antakshari. So the whole bonding was so beautiful with the parents and children. But there is other place where the wives and husband used to fight always, because when the husband travels, when he comes back for a few days, things are all good. But if he stays there for a long time, then the friction starts. And because staying at home, the husband will say, get me this, get me that. He's used to it. And since was going to be for a few days, the wife used to pander all his, whatever he wanted. So to get, one wife was complaining, to get his remote or the charger, he's asking me, it is in front of him, but he wants me to come in, and the servants were not there. So they refused to help the wife. So the friction was going on. But anyway, that is the experience most of the people had. So today, Sidhu sang such a beautiful song. It is one of my favorite songs. And it is our mother's job to instill confidence, Shakti, to our children, boys as well as girls, especially girls, because we always treat, I'm not talking we means in India, girls are treated as responsibility, They want to get rid of her, get her married. That is the main responsibility for the parents, and that should not be like that. So, we have to instill confidence in our daughters. They will believe in themselves. When a woman believes in herself, all others start believing in her. Because women are carved to succeed. Because she has tenacity, she has perseverance, and she's willing to work very hard. last 20, 25 years, we have seen lot of women occupying the big post in the company or in the industry or in the banking, wherever we see lot of women coming up. And they are working very hard because they have to work more, twice than the men, because they are competing with the men. So against all odds, they work very hard and they reach the. And the one thing about we see that women usually are not even involved in, any scandal or any, malpractice or anything. But there are a couple of cases where woman has got into this type of things. And when we go deeper into it, we find out that this is because she had lot of pressure from her either husband or son to do all these things. And in the weak moment, she's given that in, and she made a biggest folly of her life, and that's her downfall. It's very sad, but it's very, very rare case. So mostly women are very hardworking, very transparent, very honest, and that is the quality we find in women. It's very rare quality. Why do you think Joe Biden, President of the United States, has taken so many Indian Americans? So many. When you go to Capitol Hill, you'll see all Indian faces now. Because he knows that Indian women are very hardworking. He has his vice president, as an Indian. And we see that the other day he called Swati Mohan to congratulate her. And she was overwhelmed. She said, "It's a great honor for me, Mr. President, to talk to you." You know what he said? "Are you kidding? It's my privilege and great honor to talk to you." This is where he talked. And then he said one day that, one day Indian American will rule America. And I think what he said was really appropriate. Because Indians are very intelligent. We are compared to Jewish people. Jewish people migrated to America during the Hitler's time, when he was torturing them. They all escaped. And they came without anything as refugees. They came there. But one thing was common between them and us was they were very intelligent and very hardworking. So slowly, in last 75 years, they have taken over America. Today you see banking, money in the hands of Jewish people. You see medical education, doctors, all top, Jewish people. You see entertainment, movies, Jewish people. You see stores, food stores, Jewish people. And you will be surprised that 50 years ago when I was there, first Indian grocery store was started by Jewish person, called Kalustian. It was in New York, and that man was so rude because he was the only one on the East Coast to have Indian groceries. There were very few Indians during that time, but still we can't live without our rice or dal, so we have to go to them. Once a month I used to go, and my sister-in-law had come with me. She said, "Don't touch anything," because he gets very angry. Because we have to see the dal, whether it is good or not. So there was one Punjabi woman, who was touching everything, and then he started hitting her. So many hits he gave her, but she didn't care. She said, "Humko dekhna hai, theek hai ki nahi?" But he said, "You buy or you get out." So rude he was. And then slowly what happened? An Indian came and started Patel Brothers. And now, Kalustian has to close down because Patel Brothers in each town, he has a small business, and now everything is available. Except father and mother, everything is available in that store. See, when women are young, they have their priorities. They want to look after children, they want to family, and there are so many things they want to do, but they can't do it because the priorities are different. But when the children are all settled, and everybody is settled, and then you are there with your husband, they want to do something which they have never done. And then this is the time we should encourage them. But we usually find people always criticize. Why at this age she wants to do that? Her health is not good. All these things we hear saying, And that is why I feel these women should always keep this negative thinking people away from you. Have all positive thinking people around you, then you can do what you want to do. And second thing is that, that's what I feel, and what you want to do in life, there is never too late. Age is not the bar. Whatever you want to do, you should do it as long as your health permits. The other day, one of my friends called me from Mumbai. She said, now pandemic is almost over. So all of us, there are 5 or 6 girls from my college days. They are all starting to learn dancing. I said, oh. I said, is it Bharatnatyam or what? Because I wanted to know. I was really scared. Then she said, no, not Bharatnatyam. We want to learn dancing on all old Hindi songs. A lot of jhatkas. And I said, oh, okay. Then she said, when are you coming to Mumbai? I said, I'm not coming right now because we want to perform in front of you. And then she started telling me how each one was dancing. And it was hilarious. I was laughing like, my husband was afraid. What is happening? Why are you laughing? It was so funny. Then I said, this type of dance we have during Krishnashtami day. It's called tiger dance. So when you come next time, you can see that. Another friend of mine called saying that I want to learn singing. I said, she has a very loud voice and very, apaswaras. So I said, what you want to sing, bhajan and Marathi bhavgit? She said, no, all old Hindi songs like Raj Kapoor, Nargis. I said, oh, okay. Then she said, I'm not been able to get a teacher. So I sit in a room and sing loudly. So I said, okay, your neighbors don't complain because she lives in an apartment. In the beginning, they came knocking on the door. So my husband said, my wife is singing, So they are, and again, if they complain, I'm going to tell them, use earplugs. My husband is using that, Then she said, do you have a time? I said, why? I want to sing for you. I said, no, I don't have a time, So she said, okay, because I was afraid of my ears. So I said, next time when you come to Mumbai, I will sing for you. So this is the way the women should have spirit, and they should say, no age doesn't matter. We have to do what we have to do. We'll live only once in life. So to my all sisters here, I wish you very happy Women's Day. And all of you, I wish a very happy and healthy 2021. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was such an engaging and appropriate message. I now call upon Dr. Jagruti Gangopadhyay, Coordinator for Center for Women's Studies, to propose the vote of thanks. But I must also tell you that as we inch towards the end of the stage program, an interesting, brief, cultural show put up by Mahe staff awaits you immediately after the vote of thanks. So please stay seated.
As this year's Women's Day celebrations come to an end, I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for making this event possible. At the very outset, I want to thank our chief guest, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kanithkar ma'am, for addressing the gathering today. Next, I would like to thank First Lady of Manipal, our beloved Mrs. Vasanti R. Pai ma'am, for delivering the presidential address and her esteemed presence and her continuous support. My special thanks goes to our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Sir Dr. H.S. Ballal, Mrs. Indira S. Ballal ma'am, and heartfelt thanks to Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Sir Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh and Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh. I would also like to thank Mrs. Shamala Kundar, Member, National Council for Women, for her powerful message for women across the country. It is our duty to mention the support and contribution of Mr. Rama Naik K, General Manager of Canara Bank, Manipal, and Mrs. P. Padmavati, and Mr. Pratibha R. Bhakta, Deputy General Managers of Canara Bank. In this regard, I would also like to thank Mr. Prashant Pai from ION for his continuous support. I would also like to extend our thanks to Darsh Sports, Glamour House Manipal, A1 Decorators, and Quest Chef on Wheels for their support. I would also like to thank our judges and our facilitators, Mrs. Rosie Barreto and Srimati Baby Etsalyan, for their valuable time and support. In this regard, I would also like to thank Mr. Ishwar Shetty and Chirag KS for preparing the introduction of the two awardees. To make this event possible, I would like to thank Dr. Sharad for his support and for providing us with this hall. Special thanks to Mr. S.P. Kar, Mr. Suresh, and the media and social media coverage team, the event management team, technical support from IT, and general services. For the smooth conduct of the preventive competitions, I would like to thank Dr. Chandani Gupta and Dr. Lizia S. Andrade. Our heartfelt thank also goes to Team Cultural Coordination Committee, Ms. Sundu Kamath and Dr. Shobha Kamath for all their support. I also want to thank the organizing committee, Dr. Narayan Sabhet, Registrar, Dr. Christopher Sudhakar, Dr. Smita Nayak, Dr. Rohit Singh, Dr. Shubha HS, Dr. Chandani Gupta, Dr. Lydia S. Andrade, and singular thanks to Ms. Hilda Cornelio for organizing this event. Finally, I want to thank our dear student volunteers without whose support this would not have been possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jagrati. I request the dignitaries to please take their seats in the front row. I request every member in the audience to please stay seated for just about 15 minutes to enjoy the carefully put together cultural program by the staff at MAHE. I choose to seek out and celebrate women's achievements. I choose to challenge wisely. If you do so too, collectively, we can create an inclusive world. Thank you very much.
We at MAHE celebrated successfully International Women's Day 2021. Now it's the time for entertainment. Thanks to MAHE team for giving us the opportunity to show how to exhibit challenges come to change. Choose to challenge. Choose to challenge. Choose to challenge. The feminine has been the very foundation on which human community has been oriented. Every little girl child and every woman is born with the potential to make this world a better place. This has been proved time and again. When women everywhere begin to see themselves as more than inanimate objects, but as beautiful beings capable of deep feelings and high thoughts, this has the capacity to create change all round, the kind of change that is for the better. We at MAHE on this occasion are presenting to you as an episode on how a woman will accept the challenges in her life, though in olden days she was never encouraged to throw a healthy challenge at herself and at situations around her. Sit back and enjoy this performance describing challenges, what curbs us, what limits us, what suppresses us. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this cultural event.
ಭಕ್ತಿಗೊಳಂಬಿಕಾ ಸುತ ವಿಘ್ನರಾಜನ ಬಿರಿದು ಸಂಸ್ತುತಿಸಿ ಅಂಬುನಿಧಿಯಾತ್ಮಜಗೆ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿದಂಬುಜಾಸನ ಪಾಣಿಯರ ಪಾದಾಂಬುಜಗೆ ಬೊಡಮಡುತ್ತ ಬನ್ನಿಪೆ ನೀ ಕಥಾಮೃತವ
कधी कवा कुठं कसा जीव झाला येडा पिसा त्याचा नाही भरवसा तोल राहीना राखली की मर्जी तुमच्याच वडीनं मी आले फिरतीच्या या रंगी राया चिंबोली मी झाले राया सोडा तरी काळ येळ नाही बरी पुन्हा भेटू कवा तरी साजणा मला जाऊ द्या ना घरी वाजले की बारा मला जाऊ द्या ना घरी वाजले की बारा पैसा गाडी गेली नावाची बी गेली आता बाराची गाडी निघाली वाचले की बारा मला जाऊ द्या ना घरी वाचले की बारा
ढोलीडा ढोल रे गाड मारे हिचले विसे
तेरी मंजिल, इश्क का दरिया है बहता, डूब जा तुझसे है कहता, आ मेरी बाहों में आके मिल। ओ शराबी क्या शराबी, दिल में जिसके गम न हो, लुट गया समझो शराबी, पास जिसके हम न हो। साकी साकी रे साकी साकी, आवाज़ आए न जाए कोई ख्वाहिश बाकी। ओ साकी साकी रे साकी साकी, आवाज़ आए न जाए कोई ख्वाहिश बाकी। Baby, that's a flow, she will tell you where to go. लड़की कर दे मैंने go, made in China. Get hot, get cold, दिल पे कर लेगी वो hold. लड़की है तो बड़ी cold, made in China. Hey, do you know, baby तेरे लिए रखा पल्लू संभाले. Hey, do you know, तू जो चाहे वो कर दूं मैं तेरे हवाले.
ओढ़नी उड़े उड़े रे अखियां मुड़े मुड़े रे, ओढ़नी उड़े उड़े रे अखियां मुड़े मुड़े रे, मेरे सीने में कुछ कुछ खाए।
केम छो मजामा के ओढ़नी ओढ़ू ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए, ओढ़नी ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए, ओढ़नी ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए, ओढ़नी ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए। ओढ़नी उड़े उड़े रे अखियां मुड़े मुड़े रे, ओढ़नी उड़े उड़े रे अखियां मुड़े मुड़े रे, मेरे सीने में कुछ कुछ था कि ओढ़नी ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए, ओढ़नी ओढ़ू पर उड़ी जाए।
आंख सुर में से भर के तैयार की, खींच खींच के निशाने हूँ मैं मारती। आंख सुर में से भर के तैयार की, खींच खींच के निशाने हूँ मैं मारती। खुद ज्यादा तो उम्मीद मत रख सोनिया, ज्यादा तू उम्मीद मत रख सोनिया, तेरा लेवल नहीं मेरे यार वर्गा। मुंडियां नू सूली उत्ते टंगी रख दे, मेरा नखरा दिखी तलवार वर्गा। मुंडियां नू सूली उत्ते टंगी रख दे, मेरा नखरा दिखी तलवार वर्गा।
जहाँ पाँव में पायल, हाथ में कंगन, जहाँ पाँव में पायल, हाथ में कंगन, जहाँ पाँव में पायल, हाथ में कंगन, हो माथे पे बिंदिया। It happens only in India. It happens only in India. जहाँ पाँव में पायल, हाथ में कंगन, हो माथे पे बिंदिया।
The year 2020 has been probably the most overwhelming times human fraternity has seen for the longest time. COVID-19 pandemic hit us like a storm which we were never prepared to face. Yet, people came together to fight this off. Whether it is working professionals or homemakers, everyone rose to this massive challenge. Kudos in particular to all healthcare providers. Today, we take this opportunity to place on record our immense gratitude to the leadership and everyone at Mahe Manipal who worked in different capacities, big and small, to make it less difficult for the entire Mahe family. Mahe, during tough, challenging times, treated us like their own, inspired by life, now and forever. Thank you, one and all.